Bronx, New York, Tuesday, February 26, 2013 at around 4 a.m. A man is walking his dog. The dog stops and begins to tamper with the black garbage bag laid upon the sidewalk in the trash. The man initially is thinking that it's food in the bag until he begins to look closer at the contents of the bag. After a closer look, he's shocked as he discovers that what he stumbled upon is a human limb. He immediately calls the police.
911, that seems to be the problem.
Oh my God, I've just found a limb on a sidewalk.
That same day, 26-year-old Bahsid McLean went down to the 40th precinct to file a missing persons report. He told the police that his mother, Tanya Bird, and her boyfriend left their apartment Monday morning and that he hadn't seen or heard from her since.
My mom is missing.
By noon, police had found a torso on Eagle Street near 158th Street, a head on Caldwell near 158th Street, and a right leg on Eagle near 156th Street. The police decided to pay Bahsid a visit to see if the body parts matched his mother, whom he had reported missing that morning. Upon walking into the apartment, police immediately encountered a heavy bleach smell.
You smell like?
And they also noticed that the bathroom shower curtain is missing. Mind you, the leg that was discovered on 156th Street was wrapped in the shower curtain that was drenched in bleach. The police asked Bahsid if he could provide a picture of his mother. Bahsid then proceeded to swipe through his phone to find a picture of her. After doing so, he then handed the device to the police. The police ended up swiping right, and what he saw was unbelievable.
What the fuck?
Bahsid had took a picture with his mother's severed head. Bahsid would get locked up on the spot.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
I just saw the police find the leg in the bag. That's all I saw. I looked out and I saw when they went to the garbage, they pulled out a traveling bag and they opened that up and they took out a garbage bag and they said something was in there. And then he pulled out a leg.
A woman's leg.
A woman's leg, right leg.
And what went through your mind when you...
Some kid's mother's not coming home today. Some kid's not going to have his mother. He's not going to find his mother. Some husband's going to jail for killing his wife or who knows what. That's what went through my mind.
Sadness.
Sadness, yeah. But somebody's going to be without a mother. Hopefully they got him on film and they get caught. And they take that person off the streets because it's a horrible crime.
Mario,
it's to chop a person in pieces. It's a horrific crime. The neighborhood has come a long way. You walked around here in the 70s, you wouldn't have nothing here. Now you got buildings all over. The neighborhood has improved a lot. But there's crimes everywhere you go, you're going to have crimes. It's not just in the South Bronx. So that neighborhood ain't got nothing to do with it.
In the late evening hours of February 25th, inside the Morrisana apartment of Bahsid and his mother Tanya, he turned on her. According to investigators, he stabbed Tanya Bird in the neck, killing her almost instantly. What happened next is almost too gruesome to believe. McLean didn't just stop at a murder. He dismembered his mother's body, cutting her apart, piece by piece, as if she were nothing more than an object. And then, something even more chilling. Prosecutors say he held her severed head in his hands and took a selfie, a smiling photograph with his own mother's decapitated head. A moment of pure depravity captured forever. McLean wasn't finished. He placed his mother's remains into garbage bags, suitcases, anything he could find. To understand how disaster struck that night, we begin earlier. Bahsid McLean was born and raised in the Bronx. He lived with his mother, Tanya Bird, who worked as a home health aide. Media reports suggest that their relationship was volatile at times. Neighbors recall arguments between McLean and his mother. Some say McLean exhibited erratic behavior, isolated, unpredictable, sometimes agitated. His defense team later tried to frame his actions as influenced by mental illness, claiming he was off medication and unable to control impulses. But whatever the background, nothing could foreshadow the full horror of what transpired.
was found chopped up in bags. 2 people now charged in this case, including her own son.
Section of a body. That's what Bahsid McLean now has to think about. And police believe he did not act alone while cutting up his mother. A friend, William Harris, has now been charged with the same thing. Both men are now sitting here inside the 4-0 precinct. The questioning far from over.
It's too much. It's too much.
This is a first look inside Tanya Bird's building, where police say she was killed in her second-floor apartment. Her son, Bahsid McLean, with the help of a friend, William Harris, then allegedly cut up her body. Sources tell Eyewitness News surveillance tape then shows the pair carrying bags and suitcases out of the elevator and through the lobby, where a memorial now stands. Nathan Washington lives across the hall from Bird.
You never know about people. It's strange to happen.
The disturbing pieces of this puzzle, evidence in this case, police continue to find in Bird's home. Sources tell Eyewitness News pieces of a bloody mattress, a mop, and other cleaning supplies.
She always kept it simple, you know, never out of turn or nothing like that. She's just such a graceful, beautiful woman. She's going to be missed.
This case is turning into a classic one of he said, he said. Sources tell Eyewitness News McLean and Harris blaming one another for the crime. Both have now been charged with unlawful dissection of a body. Police did find an electric saw inside apartment 2A and spent much of today spraying the unit with a substance that will detect blood, even if someone tries to get rid of it. Neighbors say McLean seemed troubled.
I saw her younger child, but I never met her older one, and it's really sad, you know, just like out of left field, you know. You don't expect that from within your family, you know. That's really a heartbreak situation.
Now, both men have also now been charged with hindering prosecution. Sources tell me that they are also looking through McLean's cell phone for possible pictures he took of his mother's mutilated body. Of course, this case is still developing, and all of those charges could be upgraded. For now, we're live in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx. Kimberly Richardson, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
McLean wasn't finished. He placed his mother's remains into garbage bags, suitcases, anything he could find. Then, like it was just another chore, he took those bags out onto the Bronx streets. One here, another there, dumping them like trash. By morning, pieces of Tanya Bird were scattered across Morrisania sidewalks. Residents walking their dogs, kids on their way to school, ordinary Bronx neighbors stumbled upon bags that held human remains. The neighborhood would never forget what they saw. The NYPD was called. Detectives followed a trail that led straight back to the McLean apartment. Inside, they found evidence, a blood-stained blade, bloody clothes, and signs of dismemberment. Bahsid McLean was arrested, and in one of the most bizarre moments of the case, he appeared in court wearing a black plastic trash bag. He told reporters that police gave it to him because his clothes were soaked. But to many, the image was haunting, like the garbage bag was a symbol of what he had done. Investigators also pulled in another man, William Harris, accused of helping McLean with the dismemberment. But from the beginning, it was clear McLean was the mastermind. The case went to trial in 2016. The defense argued insanity, that McLean was mentally ill, off his medication, incapable of controlling himself. They painted a picture of a troubled young man lost in his own demons. But prosecutors had another story. They showed the jury the gruesome photographs. They told them about the selfie, about the planning, about the decision to scatter body parts across the Bronx. This wasn't madness, they said. This was murder. Cold, calculated, intentional. And in November of 2016, the jury agreed. McLean was found guilty of second-degree murder and unlawful dissection of a human body. On December 5th of 2016, Bahsid McLean was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison, plus an additional term for dismemberment. The Bronx District Attorney, Darcel D. Clark, called the crime one of the most horrific the borough has ever seen. The community, already hardened by years of crime and violence, was shaken to its core. Even in a city like New York, this was different. This was family. This was a mother, killed by her son. Years later, the case of Bahsid McLean still disturbs anyone who hears it. How does a son reach the point where he could do this? Was it untreated mental illness? Was it hatred? Or was it evil? Pure and simple. For criminologists and psychologists, the McLean case is a study in human darkness. For the people of the Bronx, it's a wound that never healed. And for Tanya Bird, it's a life stolen, a mother's love betrayed in the most unimaginable way. Bronx, New York, February 26, 2013. A day the city will never forget. A reminder of how fragile life is, and how sometimes the greatest danger comes not from the streets, but from inside our own homes.